Hey guys, what's going on? This is Fishman200, and this is not a gameplay commentary video. Um, as I said, I think I said it in the last video, I definitely put it in the description of the last video I posted. The Overwatch World Cup is underway. All of the group stages are finished, and we have the blizzcon bracket, which I kind of remade here a little bit. I tried a couple things, nothing was really working, so I just kind of threw it all together in Word because that's what I was most familiar with, and I made it work, so it's here. Um, so this is kind of like any of you March Madness fans. Everyone makes their brackets for who they think is going to win, who they think is going to make it where, and whatnot. I kind of did the same thing for Overwatch because I don't usually do it for March Madness because I'm not a huge basketball fan. But anyway, this is my predictions for the Overwatch World Cup at BlizzCon in November, I believe. So, the 8 teams that made it through all of the group stages, which have been happening the last couple weekends, are China, Sweden, France, Australia, South Korea, America, Canada, and the United Kingdom. So, these are all the contestants. As you can see, China's playing Sweden, France is playing Australia, so on and so forth, throughout all the brackets. And I watched some of the group stage games. Some of them were occurring in the middle of the night here because they were all in different places around the world. So I didn't get to watch all of them, but from what I heard and the highlights and the scores from all the games, this is pretty much what I think is going to happen. So the first game between China and Sweden, I've heard a lot of good things about Sweden's team. I didn't get to watch many of their games. I also didn't get to watch many of China's games. But between these two teams, I haven't really heard that much about China. I don't know much about their players. I personally believe that Sweden is going to take that first game. Ah! Alright, sorry, wanted to get the blinking cursor out of your way. Um, so that's what I think is going to happen with the China-Sweden game. France and Australia. This one's a little bit different because my personal opinion is different from kind of what I think. From what I think, France had a very strong team. So does Australia, obviously, because they made it to this stage. But I think France is a little bit more prepared for the World Cup than Australia. However, I'm a huge fan of Australia and some of the players on their team. So for the France Australia game, I predicted Australia. And we'll see if that comes true or not. On the right bracket, South Korea and America. Obviously, I mean, not obviously, but as most of you know, I'm from America. So, that's a huge pride thing right there. But then they're playing South Korea. South Korea is the reigning world champion. They went completely undefeated through all the group stages. Their team just looks indestructible. I got to watch some of their games. They just completely annihilated everyone they played, pulling out strategies that shouldn't have worked and were complete jokes, and they still managed to wreck everyone they played. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say I think South Korea is gonna beat America, and America is gonna get knocked out in the first round. I believe BlizzCon does like loser matches. I'm not sure how much time they actually have to play, so they might not. But I think America might get to play one of the other countries that loses. Now, the final top 8 game between Canada and the United Kingdom, I actually got to watch both of these teams play on their live stream of the group stages, and both teams completely dominated their respective groups. Canada had a little struggles here and there dealing with some of the team comps. Um, so they were a little shaky, but they were still very strong. They came through in the end and did very well. The United Kingdom was just strong the whole way. They were consistent, they protected the people they needed to protect, and so on and so forth. So for this one, um, I do, well, I don't know them personally, but I've heard of a few of the people on Canada's team, and they're very good. But the United Kingdom also has some big names in the Overwatch professional scene on there. So it was a tough decision here, but I think in the end, the United Kingdom is going to come out on top of Canada. It's not going to be a complete domination. It's going to be a back and forth. I think Canada is definitely going to take some games, but in the end, the United Kingdom is going to pull through, maybe in a clutch final map or whatever, and win it out. And I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit here because I've already introduced you to all the teams and what I know about them. Um, and try to get this over with a little bit quicker so it's not too long of a video. So, the next matchup, Sweden and Australia. This was another one, I don't know why, but I'm just a huge fan of Australia. So, I think it's going to be a great game because they're all going to be great games, and I don't know very much about the Sweden team. I do know quite a bit about the Australian team, and I believe they can do pretty good things. So, winning that bracket there is going to be Australia into the final game. And now, moving on to South Korea versus United Kingdom. As I said before, South Korea is just looking completely dominant. I don't think the United Kingdom is going to be able to find something that can stop South Korea. Their players are just so good, experienced. They work so fluidly together. Like in some of the face cam videos during the games, the team wasn't even communicating, and they were performing everything perfectly. So they've just been so practiced and are all so good at the game individually that I definitely think South Korea is going to come out on top there. Um, and then moving down, the South Korea versus Australia game, the finals, to determine the winner. Although I love the Australian team, um, it, I don't think anyone's going to stop South Korea. So I think the two-time Overwatch World Cup champions are going to be South Korea. They won it last year. I think they're going to come back and win it again this year. They already, in the group stages, destroyed their opponent in the finals last year. So their opponent in the finals of 2016, they completely destroyed in the group stages this year. So I think their team's better this year, and I think that they're going to go ahead to win it all. So these are my predictions. Can't guarantee they're going to be right. I'm probably going to be very wrong about most things besides South Korea winning. I'm fairly certain South Korea is going to win. But the China-Sweden game, not really too sure, don't know much about it. France-Australia, I really just picked Australia because I like Australia, and I like some of their players. Canada-United Kingdom is kind of a throw-up also. It's up in the air. Throw up. It's like puke. No, it's kind of up in the air, could go either way, but I think the UK had just a better build, and then obviously South Korea wins it all. So, those are my thoughts. Sorry for any of the side stuff in the video. I'm also using a different recording software than usual, so it might be a little bit different than some of my other videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too boring. If you guys are interested in the World Cup as well, I would like to see your predictions, who you think's going to beat who. If you have any reasoning for it, that also. So, thanks for stopping by. This is Fishman200, swimming away.